letterhead is 1929, 3603 Indiana. What significance is 3603 Indiana? Who said his home? Okay, what else was his home used for?
Office.
What else was his home used for? Yep, that's what it was used for. Does anyone aware of Juanita Richardson Bay? Juanita Richardson Bay, Sister Graham Bay. Anybody done any studying about Juanita Richardson Bay? Kofu?
Wasn't that the secretary?
You asking me?
I believe that was the prophet's secretary.
Okay.
I believe she was a secretary, and I know she was very involved with Sisters Auxiliary.
Very involved. What else about Sister Juanita Richardson Bay? Graham Bay. William Graham Bay. Sister Juanita Richardson Bay was multitasked. She was a secretary. She was also the one who started Moorish Tag Day. She was the one who wrote the prophet a letter and started Moorish Tag Day, designed the tags, and started selling them. These are financial statements that she would give to the prophet March 9, 1929. Sister M. Miss Bay, oils, money order, $2. Mary Drew Ali, $5. For expense of food, $2.50. For telegram to the prophet, 65 cents. These are all line items that she took care of financially. And she kept a record of everything she did. Now check this out, for example. Is everybody aware of Sister Martha Doville? Well, Sister Martha Doville purchased a lot of the products of the prophet, the oil, tea, and the compound. In March 8, 1929, Sister Doville paid cash $4.25 for the prophet's products. She used the prophet's products to sell her own products too. That was part of her repertoire. Some of her repertoire included a rabbit's foot for good luck. Seriously. And she wanted to make it more common. She wanted to have more of it there. And the prophet told her no. The electric bill in that time was $9.24 a month. We're talking about March 1929. Here, I'm going to get into some stuff that was written about the things that we should be doing. This person is quoting directly what the prophet said. Brother G. Cook Bay. See, these line items shows that some of these people are out here trying to be different. Well, once with the body you in now. Islam? Islam. April 3rd, 1930. Islam and greetings, my dear brother. Only a few lines to let you know that I recorded your letter. These few lines leaves me and wife and all the faithful Muslims of Temple number 6. This is from Richmond, Virginia. Enjoying the blessings of Allah through his son Ali. I trust that these few lines may find you and wife and all well the faithful Muslims. Well, I recorded the box with the nationality. I received the box with the nationality and tax cards. Also the case, I also received the ordination papers, and they were all okay. I also received the fez, but I shall send you the money for the fez as soon as I sell it, which means that they were getting things on consignment. My dear brother, I do remember what our prophet Ali said, but as you are the head one now, since he passed out, I only think it's right and the proper thing to do to tell you of existing things and the way they are situated in Temple number 6. I also remember when Prophet Ali said, according to your works, you shall be paid. Now our prophet said Friday is the date for burying anyone, regardless to whether they are sheikhs or sheikhs, or any heads of temples or the subordinate members. Now when Brother Watt's father passed off, Prophet kept him out and buried him on Friday. So I shall forever adhere to what he have told me, as Friday is the day on which man was formed in flesh, and it was on a Friday when he departed out of flesh, and went to his Father God, Allah. The law is law, my brother. If we are going to obey one of our prophet's laws, we should obey all.
Islam.
Our prophet Ali said, of his law will save you, will save you living, not will save you life and not death. Now, brother, I know one thing: I have been under the prophet longer than you, and when you miss 3 meetings, check this out. And when you miss 3 meetings, $1 if you didn't pay you were fined $1. You didn't enter. And if you did not have on all your regalia, you would have to rent them, or else you didn't enter. Wow, you hear that? Also, when you refuse to obey love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, you didn't enter, because our Constitution said this organization is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws of this said government. Now, I hold my regular meetings in the St. Luke's Hall every Friday and Sunday. I hold my sheep meetings where I reside on Tuesday. No, I don't meet in the place the brothers rented. Don't have anything to do with it. Well, I'll try to get the Moors to come together and be as one, and learn to love instead of hate. But you know, is some of us Moors are not going to do such themselves. And way and justice is waiting for a many of Muslims. I shall tell the Moors what you said. The prophet liked the St. Luke's Hall, and when he carried the Moors through the Adab chamber, he told them, your sheikh supported the hall. And the prophet asked me how much I paid rent to St. Luke's Hall for them special nights. I told him $3, and he said that that was all right. He told the sheikhs just what to do, but they are not doing it. I am telling you these things to let you know I am surrounded by enemies, and those who have linked up, it's a shame and a sin, and in the sight of Allah, trying to overthrow the temple. I'm surrounded by enemies like you are. So tell me how you can come out at the trial on the 24th of March. I had a vision. I was in the valley, and the Sultan was coming off of a high hill with his wagon, with his wagon wheel. Wagon wheel? W-A-G-A-U. Packed. Where'd you well?
Yeah.
Packed with his things. As he was coming through the valley, his turban was yellow, and his whole costume was yellow from head to foot. He had beards too. By the moon shining bright at night, he had a brass emblem just like mine. And as we walked, he showed on both sides. By me seeing the emblem, I called him 3 times. He tried to cover up his emblem with his right hand. He shook hands with me. Then I told him I would see that he get a place to stay. So I carried him to a house. He walked in the house, and it was a lot of Moors assembled together. And I told them, you all meet the king. I told Sultan to meet my wife. He touched her hand and told the others, you all shake hands with the Sultan. Then I said, shake hands with the Sultan. Fold up his arms, refused to shake hands with anyone else, and told him, the sister, to fix a place for the Sultan. I don't understand that.
Who was the Sultan?
I don't know.
What letter is
Mosby.
But did you hear the part of the letter I just read? Did you hear the part of the letter I just read? It says that if you were late, you paid your $1. And then if you didn't have your costume on, you had to rent one. Oh, governor, okay. Any questions about what I just read?
I got one more.
If you miss 3 meetings, you have to pay a fine.
If you missed 3 meetings, you had to pay a fine. Now, you know what's interesting about that? Now, this was 1929. What I'm saying is that, are they talking about Juali? Or are they talking about Give His Ear? Somebody had their hand up?
Islam.
This is August. I don't know what month Give His Ear. We're going to talk about Give His Ear.
J. Mosby back there.
Islam.
Okay.
Islam, you just asked the question, was they talking about giving zeal, were they talking about the prophet, right? But I heard you when you was reading that letter said Brother Millie.
Yeah, he was writing to Millie Hill.
Right. So
they had to be talking about the prophet, because he said, I've been here longer than you.
Islam. Islam, I got one more question. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, but I live in Atlanta. But if I wanted to go back home and say eventually open up a temple, because when I was there visiting, you know, the only temples that were around were reincarnated. So, I mean, would Temple 6 still be the same temple? Would it be a one if everything went through the proper channels? And a temple?
All the subordinate temples' numbers came out of here.
Right.
And so we issued that number, we can issue it again.
Islam.
Yeah. So it's very possible.
Hey, Baba, I'm honestly talking over to already. I have a question about the convention. In the year where it was held in 1930.
Is that what I just read?
No.
Okay, so what are you asking?
My question is, where was the convention held in 1930?
In 1930? 34?
Islam.
I don't have that information right now, but I can get it to you. You mean what physical location?
Islam.
Yeah, we'd have to look on one of those. You asked me that before, didn't you?
Islam.
Yeah. I have to get that program.
Thank you.
State Street? Well, let's stand up. Who else had their hand up?
That's all, Grand Chief. On back to the point with the fine, the $1, and non-payment, are we allowed to, or let me ask this, is that law? And are we to institute that if that, like in this job,
Well, Prophet already instituted,
Is your question?
who said that?
Boston, Rome.
Yeah. You know, the reason why I pulled that out,
I'm talking about the regalia, renting regalia.
well, regalia was worn during the convention.
That's not.
And they call regalia rented costumes. And so what he's saying is that, and then what he's saying is that if you didn't have your regalia on, then that was an issue. You know, and the only time they really wore regalia again was during conventions.
So it's not.
But now, if you talk about, one moment, if you talk about 1929, I do recall reading correspondence from Payne Hill, who was the business manager, sending letters out to the subordinate temples telling them to rent their regalia, and he sent them where to get it from, that you must have your regalia. Okay, so this is August again. This is August 1929. So maybe he's saying that, because Payne Hill was saying, I need y'all to know, I need y'all to have your regalia, rent your regalia for the second annual convention. And if you look at the second annual convention, it's very similar to the first one in that they all have rented costumes and wearing regalia. Okay, so I hope I answered that question.
It's not. So this, again, just for clarification, this is not everyday meetings.
No.
This is just during convention time.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah. That's when they had the regalia.
Did they place these fines on any particular fund, like the emergency fund or anything?
I can't stand up there. I don't know where those fines are. It would go in the general fund. Who else had that one?
You were talking about the secretary. I wanted to know, was there a time that Sister Price Bay actually had been the prophet's secretary?
How we get there?
You were talking about secretaries, the prophet's secretary.
You are real good. I liked when you take that needle, go right to the end. There's no evidence that I have seen that Sister Christina Rosiel was the prophet's secretary. However, there is evidence that the prophet had her to type a lot of letters for him. You know, so maybe he gave her the image that she was the secretary because she was a young girl. She was 15 years old.
And I wondered about that because I met her one year when I came up to Chicago years and years ago.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, how could she have been his secretary? I mean, you know, she would have been very, very young.
Well, yeah, you know, I can tell you more about her if you like. Things that I do know, she was definitely one of my teachers, you know, for years, many years. And my wife too. She taught us. But she taught us as Sister Price Beck. Later and she told us a lot of stuff. Sometimes she would come to the unauthorized temple we were in, and she would sit in the lobby, and there wasn't no meeting or nothing. And those of us who was there, because there was somebody there every day, we would sit around and wait for her to talk, you know. And she would talk, we would just listen. And she would just, and she used to say one thing about Miliel, and she said that, and this is what the sentiment of some of those Moors were, because many of them don't know it, many of them couldn't read and write. She said, oh, Miliel's head was too big. And the Moors kept saying, you got to squeeze it down a little bit. No, Miliel articulated well. And later on, I found that by reading his readings. He was a law student in the law extension program. You know, he was very active in civic things. He could write good. He was intelligent. And to be intelligent and write good, then some of those Moors meant that your head was too big. We better squeeze it down some. Right?
No.
Now, I'm going to have the sister read this. Goes on your emergency fund, she said. Those fines.
Is this an interreligious law fund or is the overall emergency fund?
Islam. December 23rd, 1936. Brother C. Coles Bay. Islam. I am answering your letter which was received the 20th. Now I am going to give you the facts as I know them concerning both Gibbons Hill and Kirkman Bay. There is nothing to either of them but impossible. In the first place, Kirkman is telling you about Gibbons. I'll say this for giving. He knows that he is wrong, and he haven't as yet given the grand body any trouble, only lying to the people, telling them that he is the prophet Drew Ali, reincarnated. Now didn't the prophet tell the people that after he was gone, there would be many who come in his name? And also, the evil spirits are moving and trying every weak mind to tear down the true foundation that has been laid and cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. What have Givens and Kirkman done? Anyone that follows Givens or Kirkman according to the prophet is lost. I know Givens and Kirkman too. They don't bother me. Kirkman was never legally made a sheep. It is true that he went with the prophet to Cuba once and no other place. Now, if there was anything to Kirkman, don't you think that the prophet would have appointed him to some kind of office? Kirkman in the prophet's time was no more than any ordinary member. And if he says he was anything else, he lies. Just like he had been lying to the people all the time. Kirkman tell you people that he does what he does to Givens. He's lying to you again, because Givens is operating as usual. We could stop both Kirkman and Givens with money and the support of the temples if they had done what the prophet told them to do. The prophet told Brother Millie to let those people alone. Just give them my law. And if they don't do according to law, let them alone. And that he, the prophet Noble Drew Ali, will take care of them when he came back. So you see that we are trying to do what the prophet told us to do. We don't bother with nothing like Givens and Kirkman. Because they, according to the prophet, are evil spirits.
That's right. That's right.
We, the grand body, honor only the sheiks and sheikahs made by the prophet Noble Drew Ali, or the supreme grand sheik, Emily Eel. The only ones having power now to make sheiks legally is the trustee board appointed by Brother Emily Eel to the people have did everything but what the prophet told them to do. And all their money to Kirkman and Givens, and nothing to the rightful place that the prophet established. So when you write again, please enclose some stamps for postage. Peace. Islam to all good Muslims. A. Jackson Bay, Secretary, Grand Body, Temple Number 1, 3716 Prairie Avenue, Chicago, Illinois.
A. Jackson Bay was the secretary. He didn't play. What year was that?
This was 1936.
Yeah, he was no longer living. Emilio passed in 34. Oh no, different. That's not the same letter. It's different. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, she did. Yeah. No. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, this is. Let me help you with that. He's saying that. See, before then, Kirkman Bay was telling everybody that he traveled with the prophet everywhere, and there were people saying that everywhere he traveled, he spoke 100 languages, something like that. Yeah. But so what A. Jackson Bay is doing now, he's dispelling that myth. And he's saying that he only traveled with the prophet one time, and that was to Cuba. That one time to Cuba had reference to the Panamanian, what is now called OAS conference, Organization of American States. They had reference to that, because that's why the prophet went there. We don't know. We're trying to find out. We're trying in those minutes, or our organization listed like the rest of the countries are listed as a jewel society. We're trying to find out. Most of the records as secretary that he preserved are in old University of Chicago folders that he stuffed and kept them. But he was the type of brother who articulate exactly what it was. He didn't sugarcoat anything. This is one of the only main references you will hear in the history of Moorish Science Temple of America that refers to Kirkman Bey as not being a sheikh. And he tells you right out that the only ones that made sheikh stand was the Prophet or Milieu.